Hey guys, my name's Ryan, and in this video I'm going to be taking on a behind the scenes look of what it's like being involved from a business perspective at the Indy 500. I own a couple different businesses, I'm an entrepreneur, but a majority of my work revolves around really cool people working on cool things. In my own work, I do a lot of social media and marketing, branding, content creation, do my own content creation, help other athletes and brands with their brand strategy, and then I also do a lot of high ticket deal negotiation and broker partnerships and sponsorships for a variety of different parties, which is what this video is going to center around. So we're going to be following around my friend Jack Harvey, who's an IndyCar racer, has been in IndyCar for a couple of years and also does some broadcasting and commentating starting this year for Fox. And we're going to follow around a sponsorship and a partnership deal that I put together for him this year for the Indy 500 between Redmond Salt, Relight, and Jack for the 500. So we're going to look a little bit into how the partnership came about, some of the relationships that needed to take place in order for that to happen, and just enjoy some behind the scenes looks at what it's like being at the Indy 500. I absolutely love this. I moved to Indiana a couple of years ago and got to spend about 2 years living there. Absolutely fell in love with racing, and I cannot wait to share everything that we got to see while we were at the 500 this year. Let's get into it. What's up guys, Ryan here. Today we're doing a little behind the scenes vlog at the Indy 500 in good old Indianapolis, Indiana. It's fun being back here. I used to live here and now I get to work here, working behind the scenes with some of the teams, a driver, and I'll dig into that as we get into the video. But this is gonna be an awesome weekend. We had day one today with Carb Day, and then we've got the Indy 500 coming up in just 48 hours on Sunday. Let's get into it. My wife forgot a shirt for the race this year, so I got to get her one. Okay, so day one practice today, final day of practice. It's all about getting the car ready so that we're good to go on Sunday. So we started off with practice from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. A couple crashes, car caught on fire. It was mayhem, but car's back in the garage now. Had a fun day just interacting, getting to see how the team's prepping, all the individuals, the drivers. I think my favorite part about the Indy 500 is that everyone is very, very human. So you get to see like all the fan interactions. It feels very, very close to home, very normalized people, and it's awesome. So finish up practice. We had the Weenie 500. All the Wiener Schnitzel mobiles were here racing together. So we had the first Wiener 500. And then after we got off the track, closed up, went back to the garage, caught up with Jack for a little bit, opened some IndyCar cards right inside the garage. Yeah, and just caught up, finalized everything, closed out for a good day, and getting ready for Sunday.
Good show. He's going to be at the party tomorrow. Party tomorrow with a guy from Lincoln.
Nice.
Look at this, right there, on the back of the pack. You weigh 168 pounds? Jack. Jack. Nice. Kid. I've got 2 Holly boxes. It's a card show. I ordered a few on that. Did you? Okay. Yeah.
Okay, my favorite part about Speedway, this area of Indiana, first off, everything's racing. I mean, the fire hydrant. But everyone just, for one weekend, rents out their front yards and sets their own price for whatever parking is gonna be. So we just finished like the first practice day, and it's been over for what, like 2-3 hours probably, and there's still cars that are parked here. Every single front yard for the next 48 hours is gonna have cars parked in them for like 1.5 miles north. It's amazing. Everything in here is racing. This is our Relight bag. This was the partnership that we did with Jack. So Jack Harvey's sponsorship with Relight. This is all of the shirts and team gear that we'll wear on Sunday. And then we had to get our tickets for the team for the race on Sunday. So this is all of our team gear that we're wearing. Oh, those are clean. I love a good quarter zip. All right, I'm gonna unbag these later. All right, day one is officially over. It was an absolute blast. We got to see some of the practice flyovers with the jets, helicopters, they did dry runs, and we got to see a lot of fun things out at the track. Everyone's here for the weekend. Me and my wife got in, the relight team is here, Jack is here obviously, the whole race team is here, and just prepping for a really good time on Sunday. So the race is coming up on Sunday. There's gonna be about 300 to 350,000 people in the Indy Motor Speedway, which is just absolutely crazy to think about. Personally, what I'm most excited about this year, I'll actually get to be on the track for the national anthem. My wife can attest to this. I'm a sucker for the national anthem. Every time we go to a baseball game or to a football game, I shed a tear. So being on the track at really what I think is one of the 8th wonders of the world, as I mentioned in this video, being on the track for the national anthem at the Indy 500 is something that I'm really looking forward to. With the jets flying over and helicopters escorting the cars in, it's gonna be awesome. So gonna be a really busy day. We've got a couple crazy days. Saturday, we will probably be at the track. It's probably gonna be a good 12 to 13 hour day. And then Sunday, we're gonna try to get there around, we'll probably leave around 6:30, and most likely will not leave until 6:30 as well. So it's gonna be another 12-hour day. So let's get into the next part of the video. We've got the Indy 500 coming up here in just a little bit.
How we living?
Dude, Indy 500 is just the greatest event. It's like the 8th wonder of the world. I think everyone has to do it. Okay, so we made it to the track this morning. My favorite part about the morning of race day, and I was talking about this with Jack yesterday, the Indy 500 has more access than any other live sport in the world. Like, you can be having a conversation, walking around, and then all of a sudden, like an hour later, you see that person that you're having a conversation with going 240 miles an hour on the track. So it's fun. The morning of, if you have a pit pass, which we have here right now, we get to walk around the garages, get to walk around the pits a little bit. But a couple hours before the race, leading up to probably about an hour and a half before the race actually starts and kicks off with the green flag, you can walk on the pit. So we're actually walking along pit lane right here. We got to walk over the historic bricks. And now we're walking down to Jack's pits, and it's fun looking all of like the different partnerships with different teams all the way down for 33 different driver spots. So many relationships go into making that happen. And I'm a huge, huge relationship person when it comes to business. So it's fun, like even just playing a very small part in putting one of those partnerships together and getting to work on that with Jack. It's crazy to look at the countless amounts of partners and different teams that come together to make a partnership like this happen for the Indy 500. So we're gonna head over to Jack's pit, talk about a few of those relationships that led to this moment here on the track, and then we're gonna see Jack go crazy fast here in the Indy 500. Let's get over to it. All right, so we made it to Jack's box on pit lane. First off, look how long this thing is. I mean, it is, I should know the distance, but it's really long. I was talking about relationships just a second ago, and I wanted to kind of explain how I literally got in this moment right here. Even just playing a very small part in making something like a partnership or a sponsorship happen for Jack. So long story short, was doing content on social media about 2 years ago, making TikToks, was doing ice bath videos, got connected to a group out here that was opening an ice bath studio. And then I ended up coming out here to run that company after coming to the Indy 500 with them. My partners in that business, I got connected to another person who's actually the CEO of Invest, which is Scott Jared, who's Jack's primary sponsor on the car. Worked with Invest last year to help activate the partnership and some strategy. And then through that, built a good relationship and friendship with Jack. When I finished up my work with the cold plunge business, I moved back to Utah, but Jack and I stayed friends, and I said, hey, I've got a bunch of relationships to some really cool brands that I think could be potentially interested in partnerships and sponsorships with you. If I have anyone that I think would be a fit, would you be okay if I introduce you to them? So we talked about a few different brands, and one that was a perfect fit was actually Redmond Salt and Relight, which is an electrolyte company based out of Utah. Introduced them, it was a natural fit, and within just a couple weeks we closed the sponsorship, and that literally is how we ended up right here in this moment, was relationship to relationship to connection to connection to connection to solving a problem and then bringing a solution and providing value. And now we've got an awesome group of people that are all here to celebrate the Indy 500 with us. And that's just one of the many partnerships just on Jack's team. not to mention the other 32 drivers that all have countless partnerships, and it all comes through just one single relationship that leads to the next one. All right, I'm here with my good friend Harvey Scott, Chief Development Officer over at Relight. It's kind of crazy. I just gave the context and the background as to how we landed here.
Yeah.
Tell the backstory a little bit of how we were like talking about the idea, how the Indy 500 even came up.
I actually don't even remember how the Indianapolis 500 came up. I do remember asking.
We were driving in the car to a BYU basketball game.
Yeah, I remember talking specifically about what happens to a driver over the course of 500 miles. How much weight do they lose? How hot does it get in the car? And our minds just started spinning about Relight and how Relight could actually be an advantage to drivers if, if they're losing 6 to 8 pounds per race. They've got to keep up on hydration. So it's a natural fit.
It literally, I think from that conversation, we were like, wait, Relight would actually be perfect for this.
It'd be perfect.
Like a week later, we had a call with Jack, put it together, landed on the right, price for the sponsorship,
Yep.
and then 4 weeks later, we're out here at the Indy 500.
We're at the Indy 500.
And we've got the whole team. I mean, we've got Landon, we've got Jordan. Where's Sean? Sean's over here.
Yep.
And then Harvey and literally just in a couple weeks. But
it's amazing.
I think that's the perfect partnership is when it's like it just clicks.
It felt so very natural. It's like you've got the right product with the right person at the right time in the right environment. It just all came together perfectly. And you can't force those things.
No, you can't. And we've done all the heavy lifting and hard work now, so we just get to come enjoy the race.
And a very important thing too, Ryan, is built on trust, right? It's amazing how what happens when you have a relationship that's built on trust. You just know that things are going to work out for the best.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Thanks, dude.
Thank you.
All right, we are out on the grid. This is the moment we've been waiting for, months in the making, years for Jack. Super excited. All the cars are out on the grid. We're just a couple minutes away from the green flag. Let's go have an awesome Indy 500. Let's do it. card. Do you want to watch with me? All right, for anyone that knows me, knows I'm a big sports card buff, right, Taylor? So there's no better place to open some IndyCar cards than at the Indy 500. I'm hoping for a jack. I'll take anyone. It's about to get really loud here. Hey, there goes Jack. Willpower, Felix Rosenquist, Pietro Fittipaldi, Willpower, Scott McLaughlin, Roman Grosjean, Linus Lundqvist, Toby, Christian, Willpower, Graham, Marcus Armstrong, we love Marcus, Andretti, Colton, Rossi, here we go. I pulled jacks in all my other packs. It's amazing.
All right, what'd you think? It was crazy from my side, and I hope I did an effective job at capturing a lot of the fun stuff that we got to do and see. My big thing as I reflect and kind of close out this video is just the importance of relationships. Literally everything that I've done in my career as I've been working in business happens either because of content or a connection. So social media content that I've done or that I've created or opened up a door with, or a relationship that I had. And this weekend wouldn't have been possible if I didn't meet my partners that I worked with in Indiana, who introduced me to someone, who introduced me to Scott, who introduced me to Jack, and then I was able to do that. And then I, on the other side, met a person, one of my business partners and really good friend, Shay Swenson, introduced me to Harvey Scott with Relight, and then bringing those two groups together by you just see all of the different pieces and parts of the puzzle that all come together. Same thing on the content side, like Dane and Reese played a huge part in this. And I think I mentioned them earlier. If I didn't, Reese Hansen, Dane Carlson, absolute legends on content creation. But as I was talking with them, Dane and I spent a good amount of time earlier this year together and learned that he was a huge race fan. And so we obviously did some fun stuff and followed the races in F1 and got him into IndyCar a little bit and invited him to come out if he'd be willing to do some content. And he asked if he could bring his friend Reese, and it was an absolute blast. And so I reflect on weekends like this and look at how many things and perfect things have to line up in order for a weekend to go smooth like this. And sure, there's the hiccups, there's the things that are out of your control. You always hope that the race goes well, that no one crashes. You know, I felt terrible for Scott McLaughlin, who crashed on, I think it was the final practice lap, actually right in front of us. It just wrenched my heart seeing that happen, for all that prep and then for that to happen. So, there's things that you hope can go well, and then at some point, with a lot of things, you kind of just have to sit back and let things take their course. And so we put a ton of prep into making this weekend happen. There was a lot of really cool experiences and conversations and things that we got to see and do, and things that I wish that we'd do differently next time. But overall, just very grateful. My heart is full for all of the relationships and people that play a part in just making things happen. So again, like I mentioned, this was one of my first vlogs. I'm testing out this format and I'm still new to this, but hopefully this was an insightful experience that you guys could get an idea of what just one sponsorship deal looks like in order to have to come to fruition. And there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes. And just grateful for the opportunity that I've had and all the people that have played a part in that, and excited to see what we go on to do in the future. And one last shout out, just want to say a thank you to Jack. Gotten to know him really well over the last year, and we've done a couple trips. I was able to visit him at a couple different races, and just a salt of the earth person. and no pun intended there because we partnered with a salt company for the 500 with Relight. But just grateful for even that relationship and being able to find ways to provide value and make it mutually beneficial and just do fun things together. So moral of the story, surround yourself with really good people and good things will happen. And if you try to be a solution for those people, even better things will happen. And I've found that as I meet people, or as I meet people for the first time, or see something that they're working on, my goal is always to try to connect people together. And sometimes I get paid for that, sometimes I don't. But I just like seeing the people around me win. And the universal law of equivalent exchange very simply states that for everything that you put out into the world, you'll receive in return of equal to or greater to value back to you. So big believer in that, big believer in investing everything that you can into relationships, because when you do, sometimes you get to do fun things like this. So thanks for coming to the Indy 500 with me, for opening packs of IndyCar cards, for seeing a ton of the relationships and things that we got to do, and we'll see you for the next one. Thanks.